Hello, good day, everyone. Wherever you are, for me, that's really late in the evening. Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live classical music channel. I'm Anna Spitskaya, and I'll be your host today, and I'm broadcasting from Washington, D.C. area, Vienna, Virginia. We are connecting musicians and audience in real-time performances and the most current music news. What Virtual Concert Halls is doing, we want to empower musicians with new tools. We want to enrich everyone with new thinking, expand horizons of what's possible, what can work, and what can be a source of joy and success for modern performing artists. Sound Expressiva gives an opportunity for the contestants to present themselves to a supportive panel of established veterans in the field. Immediate live feedback from the judges. No more silence about what and how you did well or not so well. Contestants receive unedited and uncensored comments right after they perform. They can connect with judges, ask questions, and take away valuable guidance for their growth and development. No time limit. The repertory restrictions. No. Present yourself as an artist on your own terms. Technical support by experienced crews who will prepare your tech so you look and sound great, and so you don't need to settle on compromising your presentation to fit some technical limitations. Prizes which keep giving more opportunities long after the competition is over. Performances, scholarships, experiences, coachings, travel, tours, promotional services, and a lot more. Check us out.
Progressive musicians and Sound Espressivo are hosting live auditions for our Laureate Gala at Carnegie Hall this summer. Auditions are open to soloists, composers, small and large ensembles. You can also audition for an opportunity to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. Don't miss your opportunity to receive a professional video recording of your performance on this world-renowned stage.
Judging is at the center of the experience for contestants. Everybody wants to know who the judges are, what they think, what they do, what they bring on stage into education, and what can they share with the contestants. The competition is created by a community of musicians, music educators, and music managers with a purpose to make a difference for young musicians, for their teachers, parents of music students. And today, I'm really happy to introduce to you Robert Voisey, the founder of Vox Novus. He's a composer, he's a producer, he's a wonderful musician. Welcome, Robert, on our show. It's a great pleasure to have you today. You're joining us from New York, right?
Yes, and I'm here in New York. A little late, just like you.
Yeah.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
It's a great pleasure. I'm a little tired. I believe you must be tired too. Time changed, and it's getting kind of late.
That's right. There's always the added time change that happened this morning.
Exactly.
Okay.
Robert, you're a veteran of our music industry and many years veteran of supporting musicians, and now again you're extending your supportive hand to the musicians as a Sound Expressiva judge, and your company is sponsoring one of the most unique prizes on the roster of the Sound Expressiva competition. We're going to get there, but please tell us a little bit about your mission, your purpose, your work, and what you do.
Sure. Well, I'm a composer and producer, and my biggest thrust and sort of mission is to present, empower, and champion contemporary composers and the new musicians and artists that perform and play and use that music. I founded my company Vox Novus in 2000, and through Vox Novus we created several concert programs in order to present and promote and inspire new music. Composer's Voice, 60 by 60, and 15 Minutes of Fame. 15 Minutes of Fame is what I'm offering the prize for, and it's 15 one-minute works that are written by living contemporary composers for a specific musician. So
we're going to get in the details. Sorry to interrupt you, Rob.
No, it's fine.
But I want to just get a little bit of an overview of your work and maybe show our audience some samples of your previous productions, because they're phenomenal. Like your 60 by 60 dance was endorsed for 2012 Olympics, and it takes quite a bit of the show to get to that point. Maybe we can demonstrate some snippets of a few shows in there. Let's put something up. That's 60 by 60 dance.
That's 60 by 60
one of those phantasmagoric shows.
Yeah, that's my piece Electric Trains, and so each piece is only 60 seconds. So that was a 60-second work, and we get 60 of them and we put it through in an hour, and then each choreographer gets 1 minute to do their thing. In this piece of mine, that was Amity Perry, that was dancing, both a choreographer and dancing to my work, and Angela McGarry is the singer that I was. They're all electronic
singer.
Works. She is a phenomenal singer. And she had made a whole bunch of vocal tracks for me, which I in turn mix and process and so forth to create my vision. And the piece is called Electric Trains. So I wanted it to sound like a train that was like speeding up and so forth. And I love this. I don't know if you noticed that she was in the water. This is
Yes, she was.
This is Galapagos. It was a venue in Dumbo in Brooklyn, down under the Manhattan and Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh wow!
And it was, and the venue itself was really, really unique in that they had what was it? I think a 1,500 square foot pool inside the venue where they had these islands in the water, and so you could go and sit there and so forth. And when Amity approached this piece, she saw she felt sort of the Baptist sort of revival, baptism in water sort of thing. And when we were at Galapagos, and that's where the sort of mix and play comes in with collaboration.
So a lot of different cultures and ethnics and everything is mixed. And this is 60 short pieces composed by 60 different composers with at least 60 dancers involved.
At least
right?
60.
At least 60.
In this performance, there were 110.
Oh, my goodness. So 110 dancers and choreographers, and you get different choreographers to create those short presentations.
60 of them.
60 choreographers.
60 different choreographers, yeah.
Unbelievable. I want this pandemic to be over. I want you to put another 60 by 60 show, and I'm driving to New York. I want to see that. I want to be part of this enormous community of artists of different fields creating this in the moment living music and arts presentation. It's unbelievable. Let's have another clip of something else.
So you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit while it's playing in the background. Yeah. So people might know that I'm into short pieces. This piece is 6 seconds long. That's the whole piece playing over and over again. Yeah, it was that was a project from the Vine Orchestra. I know. Do you remember Vine?
Yeah.
So they were this place for these 6-second videos, and the Vine Orchestra had this great idea to use that platform to create these 6-second compositions, and I had to apply.
So it's your composition, which is 6 seconds long, and it keeps playing over and over again.
And yeah, if you looked at the score, I one of the things that I love to do are graphic or visual scores that use extended notation. And it was a lot of fun to sort of think about like, you have 6 seconds. What's going to be something that's like dramatic and make a statement and so forth. And it's also a lot of fun. Most orchestral players don't do graphic notation. They're not really experienced for it. So it was a lot of fun for them to sort of, get the score and see it and be able to interpret it in that fashion.
That's very interesting. And I want to ask our audience who are watching us now. I'm a professional musician, and this is my field, my area, my world. But it's not every day that I meet a living composer who is fluent with graphic scores, who is also producer of massive events. So please put comments or questions in your in the comment field, and we'll bring them on screen for Robert Voisey to answer. You might get very interesting, insightful answers to questions you may have about this kind of composition and how you do that. That's your moment. Please get in touch with us, and we'll be answering. Shall we move on to one more clip?
Sure.
Let's see some more.
Yeah.
Am I guessing right? That's Robert Voisey a few months ago.
Well, we were singing in a club, so nothing a few months ago. Everything's older than
That's
2
right.
years. So a lot of the compositions I do are with the voice. I'm a singer. I used to sing a lot, opera and stuff in there, and I also like to do some throat singing. So there was some overtone pitch singing happening in that piece. That's what that piece is about.
That sounded very ethnic.
Yeah, well, I feel like, yeah, I have an affinity for sort of tribalistic, earthy type of feeling of music. I was always a big believer that voice is like the first instrument, voice and percussion, right? You know, you're banging on the drums. And so I always, anyway, I have a romantic
Go back to
view
the
about
roots
that.
of the
Exactly.
origins of the music. Yeah, the voice and the drum are the very first noises which were organized into a message. Yeah, wonderful. W- Rob, do we have a more recordings to show, or that's all we prepared for today?
There, maybe there's another one. I don't know if do they have Matthew McCright with the piano?
Yes, we have harmonic exploration for cello solo and
Oh yeah,
persistence of melancholy. Let's
yeah.
get those out. I'd like to see. These are all very different sides of your artistry as a compositor. That's a beautiful music video. That's the persistence of melancholy, right, Rob?
Yes, yes, and yeah, a wonderful performance by Matthew McCright. He actually played that at Carnegie Hall for his premiere. It was a great project we did together. Yeah, and you know, we recorded up uh, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm forgetting the college, but we recorded up there, and yeah,
That's a beautiful piece, and I'm guessing that's not graphic score.
no, that's
So that's another side of you.
that's yeah, that's
The
my
tribal music, the graphic score,
neo-romantic sort
new
of-
romantic,
Yeah, yeah, that's-
multifaceted composition. Why do you feel you're taking so many different directions as a composer?
You know, it's why do you know, I want to communicate to the audience, and so you know, I look for the sort of the strength and where the music kind of leads me, and you know, in general, I would definitely say I have like a really romantic view of things, so I definitely would, you know, say my chamber works as neo romantic when it's not being like, you know, the classical, like postmodern avant-garde, which would be an example of harmonic exploration, which doesn't use too many extended techniques, but uses, the harmonic nodes on a cello, which gets a with the glisses. You know what? Maybe we should play that piece and people can hear
Yeah,
it.
let's. Before we do, there's someone saying hello, and hello, Daniel Hall. Thank you for stopping by and leaving a comment. It's a great pleasure to have you. And if you want to engage with us, please do put any comment or question you would like. We'll be happy to communicate. And if anyone has something else to say, please just tell us where you're from, where from you're watching. We'd love to know that. Wherever you are. Let's put that piece up. It's a very interesting piece, and I just want to point out that is recorded by a person performing on cello. Is that right?
That is correct. That's them using the harmonic glisses on the strings. So it's extended. It's extended. What people think of as extended techniques.
Extended techniques on an instrument. And here is a message from Danny Hall. Reminds me of one of my favorite films called August Rush.
That's one of the ways I always explain my music when people are like, oh, what type of music do you do? I was like, oh, you hear all the music in the background of movies. That's kind of what I do.
Yeah, you do a lot of different types of music, and you do a lot of different types of projects supporting musicians and composers and performers, dancers, producers, choreographers, everyone. Now you're supporting musicians who are part of the Sound Espressivo competition. Would you please explain to us a little bit about this very unique prize which your company is sponsoring for the Sound Espressivo winner? And I believe the first winner is going to be actually utilizing the prize in the next month or so, right?
Yeah, sure.
So let's show that. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah, so last year we were judging one of these sort of categories they had was miniatures. And Alice definitely showed off to me her willingness to be able to do the, her willingness to be able to do like contemporary works and to be able to handle like different styles and varieties. Well, when I saw her playing, and she definitely like sort of her particular performance had a a sort of a segmented feel to it, and I thought it would be great for this particular prize that I'm offering. So the prize that I'm offering is to offer a young musician or the opportunity to work with us in collecting works for them specifically, and then to produce and present a new music concert online.
So let me just clarify. You mean the composers are actually writing the pieces for that particular musician? They get a chance to hear and watch the musician's work, the previous performances, and then they write the music specifically for that performer.
That's
Is that
exactly right? So
Amazing.
Alice received 79 works for her to review and take a look at and decide which 15 that would work best for her performance. And I heard so many great reports about the composers specifically researching about her and where she came from and the type of music that she plays, and they incorporated that into their submissions.
Amazing.
Yeah.
79 composers. I'm 3 times her age. I don't think 79 composers ever dedicated music to me. That's incredible. Keep going.
Yeah, so so 15 Minutes of Fame is very much, it's a kind of a spin-off of 60 by 60, but it's 15 one-minute works that are written for a specific musician and their instrument, and that instrument learns and plays them and then performs them in a concert. That's...
And how this, explain to us, please, how does the selection process work?
So what we do is we put out a call for scores on. We have a couple of websites that help collect the scores and basically advertise the call. And so we get the word out there that we're looking for pieces for. In this case, it was for flute, for solo flute, and then the composers, they go in and they write their works. And then they submit them online, both the score and their program notes and their bios and maybe a realization of what they have, so you can get an idea of what it sounds like. And then all those things are submitted, and then it goes through a selection process, a judging thing. And
now wait a minute, judging. So in the case of a winner of the Sound Specific competition, who is judging?
You're talking about the 15 Minutes of Fame prize?
Yes.
Or you're talking,
The 15 Minutes of Fame prize.
Yeah. So there's a couple levels of judging for it. We try to keep it as minimal as we can, because we want to get as many pieces to the musician as possible to review, and but we also don't want to waste the musician's time. So we take out anything that's these are all 1 minute pieces. So anything that's over 1 minute, we don't advance, or things that aren't written, that aren't dedicated or aren't written for the musician, or they're not for flute or for the instrument, or they're written. There's lots of things that would disqualify them, and then the musician reviews it, and there's a process of elimination as far as that goes. They usually weed it down to the last few, and then we select the final 15.
So Alice was working with you as a producer of the program on making sure she chooses the pieces which she is most comfortable with.
Right. So that's part of the sort of the prize, I guess, is Vox Novus is working specifically with the musician to pick those pieces and to produce this concert. So this particular concept is, I don't want to say original or new, but it's definitely not commonplace.
No,
And
it definitely is not.
And it can be difficult to present 15 different composers. They're usually wildly different styles or techniques and stuff like that. Alice was very sensitive towards what the composers were trying to do. She took a very, very earnest effort in, giving every composition its chance. She's definitely played through, I think, almost all of the pieces at least once.
Oh,
yeah.
Nearly 80 pieces.
Yeah. And she's
That's
very
incredible.
dedicated.
So she gets an overview of what's being composed for flute by the best composers from all over the world right now, because only really dedicated composers who value their work will participate in something like this, where you have to actually write a piece for this particular event.
You're definitely getting a whole range of not just styles and compositions, but also composers of different career stages and backgrounds and cultures and so forth. So part of being a musician, part of being a composer or a producer and so forth are just kind of some of the simple logistics of life. And and I think especially for beginning musicians that when they're putting together a program, they what's the right word? There are things that experience tells you, like you can do this and you can do that. Mm-hmm. And this isn't going to work very well, and that isn't. It might be a great idea, but to learn a really difficult 1-minute piece that may not be playable is probably not for this project, or it's for a different musician, or it's for there's a whole bunch of factors that go in and that are involved.
Yes, and of course there's a musician and she's 20?
Mm-hmm.
For someone who's just starting their career, this is a huge journey of experience and learning real life.
And she's doing great, and our idea is to sort of be able to smooth the bumps in the road.
Mm-hmm.
So that is part of the prize, and we help put up a web page, and we contact the composers, and we try to build promotion about the the concert and so forth, and push it forward. We make a video and all of that is in aid and support both for the musician and for the composers.
That's amazing, and she's also hopefully forming lifelong relationships with the composers, and if she might be further interested in playing new music, she will already be known as a musician who is capable of doing this properly.
I think so. There's been such a positive response for this call and for this project, and it's really exciting. I'm hoping yes, that she does, form bonds with some of the composers and things like that, or even if she doesn't with this set, that this will make her a little bit more comfortable for for other composers that she's running into. And for that matter, hopefully, composers will feel, not so shy into reaching out as well.
That's wonderful. Building this community connection for the better of music and musicians who are working in the field. That's wonderful. When is the concert? We would like to invite our audience.
Yeah, it's good question. It's Black Friday.
Oh, okay. Black Friday. Everybody knows when that is. It's the day after Thanksgiving in the United States. But for the audience which is not in the United States, maybe
right.
the date would be really helpful.
Exactly.
Let's find out in a second.
Well, here it comes.
It's November 26th.
November 26th, and this concert is happening at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I guess that's UTC -5, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And it'll be available on a variety of platforms, and it's going to be recorded. And thank you very much, Fedor. Our director is putting up the date, November 26th, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll let you all do your own math wherever your time zones. Please forgive us; it's really late for Washington and New York right now. I can't do mental math.
And if you want to find a performance, it'll be on virtual concert halls on their YouTube channel. It'll be on the Vox Novus YouTube channel, Facebook, and 15 Minutes of Fame. On our pages. So it'll be around. If you're interested, just reach out to us at Vox Novus or virtual concert halls. We'll send you an invite.
Absolutely. And we'll be posting it everywhere, inviting everyone and hoping for more comments. We had a lot of comments today. Appreciate it very much. Anthony Jin, Daniel Hall, thank you for being part of this program and providing this interaction for us. It's wonderful to learn a bit about you as well. And Rob, it was a great pleasure. Thank you for sharing your talent, sharing your generosity with the Sound Espressiva and with this program. Thank you for coming for this interview. It's a great pleasure.
Thank you so much, Anna. I'm looking forward to judging Sound Espressivo this year.
Very much so here as well. And with this, we would like to also thank a great supporter of our programs. Many thanks to History of Music channel for supporting our efforts to bring musicians, music, news from around the world to our audience. And many thanks to this Virtual Concert Hall's team of production and our today's director, Fedor Uspensky. By his magic hands, we were able to bring lots of visuals and music clips and all the information which you saw on the screen. And we appreciate everybody's support. Thank you, Danielle Hall. Thank you very much for your kind words. Appreciate it very much. And with this, we'll be saying goodbye, but we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night.
Progressive Musicians and Sound Espressivo are hosting live auditions for our Laureate Gala at Carnegie Hall this summer. Auditions are open to soloists, composers, small and large ensembles. You can also audition for an opportunity to perform a concerto with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. Don't miss your opportunity to receive a professional video recording of your performance on this world-renowned